Friends, frenemies alike. Today I have a very special stream for you. I'm joined by my guest, Walter. Walter, what's going on?
Hey, how you doing?
So, Walter, you are a self-proclaimed expert in .NET.
Whoa. Oh. Expert, maybe. Nah, maybe not. I don't know. Senior, yes, but
Yeah, I know what
you
I was
know.
doing. I know what I was doing. So let me get my ducks in a row here and share my screen to Walter so he can see what's going on. So I've got the remote desktop up,
Mhm.
connecting to my PC that's in my living room. And then let me pop out the old video and fix my OBS so that you guys can see Walter, one of the few people who's not afraid of the camera. And I can't connect to this PC because I had a power outage earlier today, and that computer doesn't turn on when the power is restored either. I'll be back.
I guess I can humor the people if anyone's watching. I guess this is technically or unofficially drunk.net coding. Not really drunk, but cocktails are in hand. It's 8 p.m., so why not?
Tough day for the Nate stream. I'm already screwed up in like 4 different ways.
Yeah, I mean, I guess technology is not your cup of tea.
Apparently not. Apparently it is not. So I just need to find the window for you, and then we're changing this to sermon with fire. I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's see if it'll connect. This will open up a good old Visual Studio, the finest application ever made. Would you agree?
Nice and chunky.
Nice and chunky. That's what we want. So I think we want this. So Walter, just to catch you up, what I've done so far is I have copied over a template that had a single app.xaml and a main window.xaml. I added an
Mm-hmm.
extra button to it, and then I copy and pasted some functionality into this button that will open up a what's it called? A file picker, so you can select your
Mm-hmm.
first wallpaper. This is the wallpaper changing app that I'm working on.
I remember. Yes.
Yeah, so you select your first wallpaper. It only allows you to select images, and then at that point, it end a native Windows file picker window.
All wins.
It's the small wins, really. So I have this to do in my notes app. So I have call the Papechanger binary from C#, bring up a window to select the wallpaper directory,
Mm-hmm.
have Papechanger show up in the status bar thing, the dongle zone. That's what I'm calling the part down in the bottom right hand corner, where all the shit goes. It'd be great if Papechanger could show up in there. What were the other things? Global key bindings, user configurable. That's one thing that I have in the Mac version of Papechanger. It was actually really easy to set up. Where if I'm running Papechanger and I hit Option W, it will change my wallpaper.
There you go.
And I'd like to set up a similar thing on Windows, which I think this will be the toughest one, setting up a global key binding.
Yeah, Windows tries to map key bindings per app.
Yeah.
So I've never tried to do anything where you map it outside of a specific app.
Well, I mean, apps have it. And
Apps have it, yes.
these people can't be that much smarter than me. There's no way.
Well, here we go.
And then the other thing is this app doesn't run in a window. It should only exist in the dongle zone unless you go to, select a wallpaper directly.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how to take this main window.xaml and turn it into a status bar thing. I'm guessing you just make another one of these XML things that's not a window.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know how that works. So where do you suppose we should start? I want to get easy wins here.
Sure. I can definitely tell you that that wide key binding should be your very last thing. That's gonna be your biggest headache.
Good. And then of course I'm using Edge as my browser because this is Windows Dev, baby. We're using Edge.
Baby.
We're using we're using not VS Code. We're using Visual Studio. I've thrown open the Copilot chat thing. Totally useless, by the way.
Uh-huh.
I hate
Oh
it.
yeah, I signed up for the Copilot, didn't use it. I literally paid for 3 months and never used it.
That's
I
funny.
just didn't, and that's my fault. But
That's good stuff. So yes, the Copilot thing is useless. Edge also useless. Visual Studio, as far as I can tell, kind of useless.
yeah, surprised you didn't pick VS Code. It's much lighter.
Yeah, but it's
Although you may
not.
not get.
It's not the official Windows UI development tool.
That is true. Yeah, it is kind of second rate. For the back end stuff, it's wonderful. But yeah, if you have to do anything like that's deep, Windows desktop, Visual Studio is going to win. But because it has 25 years of legacy built into it.
Yeah.
What can you do about it?
So it's WinUI 3, I think, is what we're using. Tray icon?
Yeah. And this is the part where you're out of my comfort zone because
Yeah.
I've been doing .NET Core, modern .NET now they just call it. I haven't done any Windows UI in the new .NET because I know they threw everything away and rebuilt it from scratch, which I'm sure it's nice and clean, but I've never touched it yet because everything I'm doing is API calls and digesting APIs and SQL stuff and yeah.
That's funny. So we'll have to dig through this together, I suppose.
Yeah, yeah. Well, this is why when you try to say like I'm the .NET expert, I'm like, well, 10 years ago, yes. Now, I feel less like an expert.
I was definitely taking the piss when I said that because I know
Yeah, of course.
it's like all the specific stuff. You can be really good at one aspect of a language and then have no fucking clue what's going on in the others.
Sure. Oh wow, is my video really lagged? I'm watching your feed and it's
Oh, everything is lagged.
really
It's like
okay.
10 seconds behind. If you look at the audio and say if you unmute the audio and then say something, you'll hear it 10 seconds later.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah,
so
I can't see
we're
your
synced
face.
up, which is good.
Okay.
So it looks like there's this sys-tray extension that I can find someplace. I don't know how this goes into it. Do you know how? So I keep seeing different things where it's like UWP, Win32, WinUI 3. Can you give like a brief timeline of that? Do you know how all that stuff works?
Obviously, you have the classic Win forms, right?
Okay,
and then
so
I think UWP was next. And that just never gained traction, and that's Microsoft's fault because they just. So I mean, keep in mind, WinForms were perfected. I would even argue almost before .NET, like as far as like the libraries behind it, right?
yeah.
And then .NET just mapped to the old stuff, so it was already very mature. It's been around for like 40 years now. It's just so old, right?
Yeah.
It's so old and like, so when they went with UWP, Microsoft really dropped the ball because they did not provide good controls. And that's what people want, you just want a calendar control. You want to drag and drop, and you had that with WinForms. And then UWP comes around. If you want good controls, you had to buy them from third parties.
Oh.
And Microsoft kind of has they've kind of admitted to this part. They will say that when a third party out there is doing something well, we don't compete with them. So if someone's building like these amazing grid controls or reporting tools, they will then not make anything internally. So like UWP had just such piss poor native controls, it never took off, and then it basically failed. It's still around, but nobody cares anymore.
That makes sense.
And WPF, I think WPF was before UWP. So I might have misspoken. So, but I've been out on the UI stuff. After WinForms, I was paying less and less attention.
Okay, so now I guess the new thing is WinApp SDK and WinUI.
WinUI
3 is the latest UI framework for Windows desktop apps, including managed apps that use C# and .NET and native apps that use C++ with the Win32 API. So I don't know how that works. Incorporates the fluid design system into all experience controls and styles. And is available as part of the Windows App SDK, which provides a unified set of APIs and tools that can be used in a consistent way by any C++, Win32, or C#.NET app on a broad set of Windows OS versions.
Great sales pitch.
Yeah, so that's what I have going on. And this does not look like a modern framework. This is an XML file. Oh, and then they have React Native for Windows, progressive web apps, and .NET MAUI, and I don't want to get into any of that. Oh, this is fun. What is all this?
Yeah, once you get into this WinUI 3, you have as much experience as I do now.
Yeah.
Which is to say nothing.
So when I started out with this, I was coming from the history of using Swift, Swift UI, and one of my complaints about the Swift thing was, anytime you look anything up, you'd find like a Stack Overflow post, and it would link to an Apple document, and then the Apple document would be gone. And then you'd come to Apple and you'd go, Apple, what's going on? And they'd say, Nate, we don't do things that way anymore. We've removed the documentation. That doesn't exist. I hope you don't have a legacy app. And that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. But now that I'm trying to solve things in Windows, I'm discovering that the opposite approach of having 900 fucking platforms from the last 50 years is worse.
Yeah, no, you're spot on. That's been, even as a .NET developer myself, same thing. It's like you look up something, like even like think about a new developer. Let's like, okay, I'm learning .NET. How do I talk to the database? Well, there's like 4 different ways.
Oh man.
And 5 of them are wrong.
Yeah, like at least with the Swift UI stuff, it's like, all right, here's how you do it our way, and if you don't want to do it our way, go fuck yourself. Windows is like, here's how you do it our way. Also, go fuck yourself. Also, here's 9 more ways. Have a nice day.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's worse.
It's kind of like damned if you do, damned if you don't. Microsoft, because they're legacy, it's a company known for legacy. They don't remove anything. So now you have to be aware. Okay, which .NET are we talking about? Which C# are we talking about? It'll probably work, but you don't want to do it.
Yeah. This is all just so painful, and they're all like currently supported.
Yep.
While Mac OS is like, yeah, man, if you made an app and it recompiles, it'll probably be fine, but you should really remake your app in the newest thing, which isn't great, but also it's not this bad.
Yeah, we are talking about a framework that's now like 24 years old.
Yeah.
And been rewritten from scratch.
Oh boy. Love a good from scratch rewrite on software that everyone has to use. So then they have the MSIX application packaging, which I'm not sure how I feel about that. So I suppose we ought to try to get this thing calling the... Well, we can either take what we have so far and try to get it down into the sys tray, or we can try to get it to call the Go binary that is the core of my wallpaper app. And then for extra credit, possibly try to convince... what was this thing called? Whatever the packaging tool is, MSIX, possibly try to convince MSIX to include my command line app binary into the package for this app. So do you want to do packaging, or do you want to do... Like, these are all very painful things.
Yeah. Basically, do I want to be stabbed to death with a fork or a spoon?
Yeah, exactly. But I'm giving you the choice, so...
Wonderful. The worst part is you could probably spend 45 minutes on either subject and still not have a working solution.
Oh, I'm aware.
I've seen this. I've seen this happen.
Yeah. That's just the way the news goes. Also, I'd like to real quick just do a fit check.
You can do that.
Yeah, Looking
Blazer
good.
night.
Looking good. Blazer night. Yeah, I got the gray blazer with the navy shirt.
Yeah.
You're rocking the what is that, tan blazer with the pattern pink shirt?
Yes.
Nice.
Tropical, like a
Nice.
tropical.
Nice.
It's Friday, you know.
It looks good against the stash, I tell you what, brother.
Hmm. Yeah, I should have waxed it for the show, but oh well.
Yeah, I consider doing the same. Anyway, this is what real software developers look like. No more nerds, no more fat neck beards. We're going stashes and suits. That's what real Windows developers look like, frankly.
Old and gray.
Yeah. So let's get some more. So there's this C# tray icon someone's asking about 2 years and 2 months ago, and they're saying that there's a WPF library hard codet notify WPF, and then there's a Morton Nielsen. So we can see what these are about.
We're died. 1 second.
No worries. So this is saying it works on .NET 6, WPF, WinUI console platforms. Does not rely on the Windows Forms notify icon component, but is purely an independent control, which leverages several features of the WPF WinUI frameworks in order to display rich tooltips, pop-ups, context menus, and balloon messages. Can be used directly in code or embedded in any XAML file. I think this might be the one. And you can install it using NuGet.
Ooh.
So
you really said it slow like that. I've not heard anyone say that in like 7 years.
I don't know what NuGet is. Did you NuGet?
They all say it like the candy bar.
NuGet.
Nougat.
Okay.
Yeah. Even though we both know it means new get.
Okay, so where's the NuGet
NuGet
button in Visual Studio? Do they not have a NuGet button?
Is it under tools? You have the NuGet packages. You have like the NuGet package manager.
Oh, there it is. NuGet package manager. Package manager console. Hell yeah. So I'll just paste this code in from Stack Overflow.
The console might be harder, but I mean, if you have the commands, that's fine too. Because you can do it command wise or with the GUI. At least the GUI you can do searches and stuff.
Yeah, I just yoinked all these. So then it looks like you just do this thing. This'll get you a taskbar icon inside of one of these random XAML files.
Yeah.
So
and I have done task tray apps, and you can capture keystrokes with it. But I think the focused app takes precedence, and if it doesn't capture the keystroke, then the task tray does. I think, if I recall correctly, it's been years.
Okay.
Which is, you'll probably be fine.
So I'll just copy and paste all of this stuff in here.
Mm-hmm.
So we need this notify icon thing. We need this taskbar icon. So we'll copy that. Then we'll just paste that in here. And then tell it to use this thing. Why didn't the highlighting change? Undefined namespace. Using URI refers to a namespace h.notify icon that could not be found. Oh, it didn't install h.notify icon. There we go. So now it should be found. Maybe if I leave and come back. If I save it. How do I tell my main window.xaml that I'm using this thing I just installed from NuGet?
That's shoot. I haven't written one of these in like 5 or 6 years. I just forget.
I think I might have a solution. Wherein I just quit out of Visual Studio and then relaunch it and hope it works.
That's always a possibility, yeah.
Where is the Visual Studio?
I don't know if it has hot reload or not.
I'll just let this thing go fuck itself and then just run it again and maybe it'll figure it out. It did not figure it out. Oh, hold on a second. I had my
tutorial in .NET.
I had my closing thing on the wrong line. This was just a bad. Nope, still not there. Expected closey thing. Run. Undefined namespace. The using URI refers to namespace h.notify icon cannot be found. All right, so let's say import NuGet package Visual Studio. Install and use a NuGet package in Visual Studio. Oh, look at that! Windows documentation.
Bam.
This is painful. I want to cry a little bit. NuGet package contains reusable code. Blah blah blah. Blah blah blah. Prerequisites: install Visual Studio Code. Got it. Create a project. Add the newtonsoft.json, whatever. NuGet package manager. Got it. Package manager console. That's what I used. Use it in the app. From Solution Explorer, open main window XAML and replace the existing grid element with the following code. Okay. The main window. Okay. So where does it say to use the? Where does it say? How do I get into that? How do I get the imported method? So there it's showing using it. I see. So I need to put this inside of the code, and then the XAML will somehow get it, I guess.
It's been too many years, my man. I can't even answer you. I'm more like the Peanuts Gallery at this point.
That's fine.
Just remembering how much I hate Microsoft's ever-changing .NET's changes.
Yeah, this is quite painful. Using h.notify icon. Oh, so I need this in my window. That could also be it. So in main window.xaml, inside of window, I need to say xm lns that. Oh, I already have that. That's the thing I already added. So this says undefined namespace. The using URI refers to a namespace that cannot be loaded. Where does it show me how to get that namespace? So once I've installed it, I have this thing. I'm using WinUI. Huh. Is there a way to dependencies, packages, h.notify icon? It says it's right here. WinUI. Can I say .winUI? Well, that okay. No, it does. It still doesn't know. So it's in my packages. Is it in my dependencies here? No, this is just app SDK and SDK build tools. But it's definitely down here for the package. Can I just like? Well, it's mad at me. Update. No, so it's not mad at me. Why is it? There's a yellow thingy on it. Collapse all descendants, remove unused references, manage NuGet packages. No packages found installed. Okay, so clearly I have this installed. Package source mapping is off. Is that necessary? I don't know what that means. Okay, so clearly, okay, so this is installed. But my main window.xaml can't find it. If I hover over this, will it tell me what the problem is? Package was restored using whatever. So the target project framework UAP version, whatever. This package may not be fully compatible. It's restored using .NET instead of target. Oh, this may not be compatible. Detected package downgrade. Reference the package directly from the project to select a different version. Is this? This isn't it. Okay, so clearly there's package references in here. So hnotify icon should be around. It's being included in my package, but it won't build.
For all of those out there that are new to .NET coding, welcome to, out of 30 minutes, you'll spend 25 minutes trying to understand configuration, 3 minutes coding, and about 2 minutes just swearing at the screen.
What about the time spent crying? Is that just the rest of your evening?
That's during lunch break.
Oh,
There's
lunch
no
break.
crying.
Lunch break. Okay.
There's no crying while you're at the console.
Of course, because a tear might land in your fucked up ass Windows computer and break it.
Yeah.
And they don't have to make Mac's tear resistant because it's fine and great.
I remember once I applied for a job, and so they give you a .NET project as part of the interview process before they interview you. And basically, for the most part, you spend most of your time just fixing references mistakes, which is, number one, no fun. Just bland troubleshooting. It's not even a good measurement. It wasn't even like a good interview test, but that's what they like to do to people.
That's funny.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I get it. You know, you download the source code. You only have to fix the references once when the very first time you get the reference code. After that, you're fine. So it's something I have to do once every 2 years. Every time I do it, I forget how to do it.
TB equals using URI refers to a namespace. H.notify icon could not be found. Let's just look up refers to a namespace could not be found. Rebuild the solution and the error will go away. I just solved this by changing the target from x64 to x86. Apparently Visual Studio is a 32-bit process and it's unable to load the 64-bit assemblies. This should be a 64-bit package. It's from like 2 years ago. Like, how is that not? I'm just going to quit Visual Studio and reopen it and see what I get. This could have all been for naught.
That's possible too. Yeah, not gonna lie. Even in this year, when in doubt, restart Visual Studio.
Oh no, it's still mad at me for the same reason. It doesn't have the warnings though. It used to have like 90 warnings. Now it only has the 3 errors that are identical errors to what we used to have. But
did you rebuild the project yet?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yep.
Make sure you right click on the right side. Right click the project, and yeah, that right click that.
Okay.
Yeah, that one. Right click it, and there's a rebuild. Rebuild.
Rebuild.
Because build and rebuild.
Oh, this is different and shit. Okay.
Build will only compile the things that it thinks have changed. Rebuild will build the things that have been previously compiled, which might have changed, by the way.
Yeah.
So it's kind of dumb.
I'm actually really happy that you've come on because I thought I was stupid when I was dealing with all this shit the other day. And it turns out I'm actually just a perfectly adequate .NET developer.
You have to learn all these random quirks about Visual Studio, about .NET. There's no way to even write all the stuff down. I mean, I guess there could be some kind of magic quick start guide, but just years of suffering.
It's funny because hanging out in like the Unix circles I do, everyone assumes that writing an app for Linux is the easiest thing in the world. Writing an app for Macintosh is awful, and writing an app for Windows is okay. When in reality, writing an app for Mac is bad. Mm-hmm. Writing an app for Microsoft is absolute dog shit, the worst fucking thing in the universe. And then writing an app for Linux is between the two. It's pretty bad, but not the worst thing in the world.
Wait a minute. I've heard you say so you've used Swift UI. Wouldn't you say
yes.
Swift UI is a little bit cleaner and leaner?
It's way cleaner and leaner. It's still really fucking annoying.
Mm-hmm.
It's so much. It's like this is like a tractor that like spurts oil on you, and like you have to like pump something up, and then you have to hit all the zerts with the grease before you can start it, and then that's what this is, and then And then Swift UI is like a Tesla that has a lot of panel gaps, where you're like, yeah, but I can just ignore that stuff.
Oh, there goes your Elon advertising money.
Yeah, Elon, I'll take it all back if you give me I don't want the Cybertruck. If you give me a Roadster when they come out. Undefined namespace using URL refers to a namespace that could not be found.
You know, Elon has not done anything cool lately. The last time he did something wild and cool was the flamethrower. Technically not a flamethrower, torch.
Yeah, the not a flamethrower
Right?
was pretty cool.
Did you buy one of those or not?
No, never.
Oh.
Not never. I would have one if I was like rich and
Sure.
bored at the hit the right time.
Somebody I was talking to did buy one. I forgot who it was now. And he actually had the best point because people are like, that's so stupid. Why'd you buy it? He's like, it's worth twice what you pay for it. You can eBay it 6 months later. And he was right, by the way.
So this one's saying
Elon?
close the designer, rebuild all the solution. This one is something about .NET 4.0. This one's about WPF. Fuck.
On a side note, one thing it's a little tidbit of advice. I try to stay out of the visual designer as much as possible. If you're going to modify the form, the visual designer is the best. But if you don't need to look at the visual form, never look at it.
Okay, I don't even
Because
know
it
how to
has
get
to-
the visual designer up, so I'm happy ignoring it.
Okay, it's back on the project again. When you're actually on the form, you can right click it and you can pick view code or view designer or something. So no, in the solution explorer on the right side tab. Yeah, so when you're in the form, you have to right click the right thing, but you'll get, like I said, two options, either view code or view designer. When you click view designer, which tends to be the default if you double click it anyways, it has to reparse it every time. In a complex form, I mean, it still takes a couple seconds. It may take like 3 or 4 seconds. And it has to re-render everything, and in many cases, it'll rewrite the designer C# code, which is really annoying. But that's what it tells you right in the code. Don't never modify this file; it gets rewritten.
Oh. Well, I right clicked it and it said open up something that looked like a designer.
Mm-hmm.
And then Microsoft Blend. And it's
Oh my God.
it's just the
I thought-
same it's the same thing.
I thought they retired Blend. They're still using it?
What the fuck is this?
So, like,
I
if
don't
you
know
right
what
click
that
main
was.
window,
Edit in Visual Studio. Okay, so this is just
Ooh.
another file. I'm going to close that. Okay, so we're back to Visual
Yeah.
Studio. Right click it, design and blend, so that wasn't it. Remove run custom tool, copy full path, properties.
oh, okay. So there's no designer for this new XAML stuff on this.
No, I guess not.
On this WinUI. So they were using XAML before with the WPF as well, but that had a designer, but it was considered really bad, and it was bad. It was
Yeah.
basically an IE plugin inside Visual Studio, and it was very hacky. I think it was IE. It was really bad. This is pre-Edge. Like, Microsoft has really tried to reiterate itself, better or worse. It's mostly for the better, but it's like riding a wooden roller coaster. Like, oh, it's old school. It's gonna be so cool. And then you ride it, and it's like, brrrr, brrrr,
Yeah.
and then your butt hurts at the end of the ride, and you never want to ride it again. Sometimes the errors are hyper generic, just so you know.
Yeah.
That
Oh.
first one looks.
All right, this
Okay,
one's
Apple.
useless.
Yeah, the first
Oh.
one is hyper. I can tell the first one's generic as hell.
Okay, so now it just sent me to. Okay. Google search. There's a button to Google search your solution, and there's an error. And when I say Google search, I mean Bing search.
Of course. You know, in their defense, Bing will give you better .NET results than Google does. It does too.
Yeah, that makes sense, I suppose.
Yeah, they optimize it for .NET.
Demo view is just the name of the app. Skip the first 4 lines when you copy and paste. Okay. Well, what is this doing? Main window.xaml. The fuck is this? Oh.
Why does it say 2006? Is it the old XAML or the new XAML? What is there a date on the
I,
question?
I th-
Oh, at the top.
oh
I just want
yeah,
to be sure what's the
5
date on
years, 3 months ago. Modified 2 years,
Two
5
years.
months ago.
It's old enough that it's probably the old XAML. This is probably not helpful.
Fuck.
I don't know. It could be the same. Could not. I haven't used the new stuff, so I can't say if it's what has changed.
Do you know of any books I should read or something?
M- Microsoft was really a connoisseur of .NET books, but I think they've really dropped that lately. These past couple years.
What is this? Migration report. Okay, so this has got an error. The application which this project type is based was not found. I don't know where this came from. Namespace and namespace mapping for WPF XAML. XAML namespace is really an extension of the concept of an XML namespace. You love extensions of XML.
Let me stop you already in the URL .NET 4.8. That's legacy. This is not what you're coding
Son
in.
of a bitch!
So I'm not sure that advice will help you. Gotcha again.
What the fuck is this? Okay. Copilot. Copilot to the rescue. The error message, undefined CLR namespace, typically occurs when you're working with a XAML and a .NET application. The namespace you're referencing is not included in the assembly. Let's break down the issue and explore some potential solutions. Namespace declaration in XAML. When you declare a namespace in XAML using the XMLNS attribute, you're essentially telling the XAML parser where to find the classes. For example, XAML CLR namespace : view summary converters. Okay, so here C is an alias. Okay, let's see how this compares to what we're working with. Okay. So we're saying XMLNS TB equals using h.notify icon. And this thing is saying XMLNS. So we have that. TB equals, but this is different. CLR dash namespace. So I think we need to do the namespace thing over here.
This doesn't sound familiar, so I'm sure this is the new stuff.
This could just be made up by fucking whatever. CLR namespace refers to a namespace h.notify icon that could not be found. Fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Here C is an alias for view.summary. Okay, got it. You're referencing might not be part of the assembly containing the okay. Rebuild the solution. Check the framework targets. If your assembly targets x64, consider changing it to x86. Okay, so how do I change my assembly targets so they're all the new shit and not the old shit?
Try clicking. What is it under? Is it under tools? Here. Open. No. It's not. It's not in syntax. You can do it in the UI.
No. What about this right here? It says x86, x86, x64. So if we just get rid of all the x64.
You could, yeah. The Explorer. Right click the project.
Okay.
So you can pick things like your .NET version, but there's also somewhere in here. It's 6 is fine, by the way.
Okay.
You always want even numbers, by the way, because the odd numbers are like. So the
86 and it wasn't working.
Yeah.
So let's try running it again. Oh no! Now we're back to more errors.
Nice.
So let's say any CPU.
Yes.
It's just it can't find the namespace. So let's leave it at x64 because that's probably gonna be the most likely, right? That's what we've been using for the last 20 years, whatever.
Yeah.
Optimize
you don't have to change this stuff.
Warning level, output, events, publish. Can't sign the assembly yet. Oh, that's the other thing. I have to figure out how to do code signing, which means I have to give some random company $350 to say that I'm a good boy developer.
Jeez.
And everyone bitches about Apple charging $100, and it's like,
yeah,
my nigga, have you ever tried to develop something for Windows? It's worse.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. It didn't fail. No, it did. Okay, it just took a second longer to fail.
Sure.
It had to rebuild the nougat package before it could fail.
Twist on it.
Negroni with a twist.
This is the cocktail side subject. So Negroni is, I would actually argue that a Negroni is technically not a cocktail. And some people are going to get mad about that, but it's not, because I feel like a cocktail has not all cocktails, they often have a citrus element. Negroni does not. They usually have a filler. Now, this is the contestant, because like technically the vermouth is the filler in a Negroni. But I mean, it's just a shot. So a single shot of a filler is not very much of a filler. So to go back, what is the Negroni? It's technically something you're supposed to sip a very little amount, like usually 1 to 2 ounces. Well, yeah, about 2 to 3 ounces total. You sip it after dinner. You're not supposed to get a buzz off it. You're not drinking it for that purpose. So I've repurposed the Negroni to make it into a proper cocktail. The differences are very minor, but they do improve it as a drink. So here we go. And feel free to, mention your code stuff. Oh, or look up the Negroni.
I've got some bad news for you. I went to the Wikipedia page for Negroni, and the first 5 words are the Negroni is a cocktail. So
I know, and I don't agree with that. So traditionally you usually take an orange peel, carve it and invert it so it squeezes out the oils. The orange zest. I don't have an orange, but orange bitters work just as well. Once you have the orange bitters, Campari, that's the Italian bitter liqueurs. Basically, it's like a syrup. It literally is a mix of bitter flavors. You have 1.5 ounces of gin. It starts out as a classic Negroni, right? 1.5 ounces. If you're a lightweight, I guess 1 ounce. And then 1 ounce of vermouth. Dry or sweet, whatever, if you like your sugar or not. I'm not much of a sugar guy, so dry. That is technically, there you go, Negroni. You could drink that, but I find it to be unpleasant and undrinkable. And I'm sure more people would. So what makes it a proper cocktail, in my opinion, because keep in mind, most cocktails have a citrus element, lime, lemon. In this case, key lime. It has a sweet undertone without actually being sweet. And equal parts soda water. And now you have a cocktail. It's completely drinkable. I've never had a single person say they hated it. I mean, it can be a slightly tart, slightly bitter, but it's enjoyable. And that's a nice drink. So back to the code, Nate. What are we doing?
I've gone back to the Microsoft documentation, and I don't know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So they have the old Solution Explorer, and I'm trying to find where it says how to import things. Can I say like filter by title? Well, let's see. WinUI, overview, Windows UI Library 3. This is just a bunch of tutorials. Windows UI 3 library, WinUI 3 resources. See also Windows App SDK. We could check the WinUI repo and see what they have to say. I don't know. That's going to be very helpful.
The .NET rabbit holes.
This is just so painful.
Mm-hmm. And we're not even paid by the hour right now.
No. I mean, I might get like 20 cents this hour. We've got like 4 viewers. 3 viewers. One of them just left.
Two viewers.
Don't you leave, you son of a bitch.
This is not my theory is the people that left actually code .NET for a living because like, oh, this is so painful. I don't even want to watch this because I have to do this during my day job.
Like, why do people? Why is Mac OS not the most dominant operating system in the world right now? How do people ever write Windows software? Like I barely understand how people write Linux software. At least most of that stuff is on the back end. And writing back-end software, it takes no tooling whatsoever. You can do it in fucking Notepad.
Yes, yeah,
and it doesn't matter. But like front-end stuff, how do front-ends ever get built in anything ever?
I'm in the sun, man.
Like even the Swift UI stuff was like quite a bit. Like it was a hassle. But this is otherworldly. Like this is so bad. So this is the Windows App SDK. Delight users with modern UI. Access new platform features. Okay, but like more details. Video. Learn about the Windows App SDK in a 22-minute video.
Oh yeah, that's tons of fun.
You ever do a React stream where you just react to content?
Oh.
You got to make sure it's transformative so you don't go to jail for stealing content.
Yes. Yeah. Oh no.
Hi, folks. My name
Hello.
is Thomas Fennell. I'm a principal program manager lead at Microsoft.
Microsoft is the biggest and most powerful corporation in the history of the world. They have more money than everyone ever has, ever at any point. And this is the video on how to make applications for their leading product. Their leading product is the Windows operating system. And this is their entry point for developers, the people who butter their bread by making applications, making their leading product worth using. And it's in fucking 240p, and it was filmed in this motherfucker's house. Nothing against you, Thomas Fennell, if you're watching.
Room. In his guest room.
In this motherfucker's guest room. He should have a massive auditorium or... What is this? Hold on a second.
My money on this is lockdown. My guess is this during lockdown.
What's their market cap? $3.08 trillion, and they record this video in this motherfucker's house
with half-ass audio.
With shit audio,
among other things. Project Reunion, and today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the
nothing
future
against you,
of
Thomas
some of the
Fennell.
enterprise development
You seem like a nice guy.
that we'll have with the Windows Developer Platform.
He knows coding, not
because
microphones.
of Project Reunion. So let's get right into it. Today we're going to go through sort of what we've heard from our enterprise, large, and small business customers about Windows development.
Okay, so none of this is telling me how to develop a Windows app. This is a slide deck.
Oh, it's so markety.
What the fuck?
Let us tell you about your value for enterprise ZZZs.
Vargas Mora in the chat says MS Surface One integrated camera. Yeah, that's it. What the fuck? Like I already didn't want to do .NET, and every time I see a job that said they wanted .NET, I'd say, this is but peasant work. I'm a certified Linux Chad. I write Linux backends. And I'm just realizing how correct I was to hold these opinions.
Elitist.
Like how does anyone ever get a UI application out? I don't. Design and code Windows. Okay, so this is design stuff. Oh, this was something that really pissed me off. If you download the Windows, here it is, the Windows UI library design examples, the apps that they put in their design examples are the most dog shit that don't work and look wrong and are bad. That's the other thing. Windows doesn't appreciate design. If you go to like Mac OS, if you go to the Swift UI overview, whatever, everything on their page is beautiful. And if you download any shit for it, when you pull it up on your computer, you go, wow, I did not realize apps could be this nice, this responsive, this powerful, and this cool. But if you download the official Windows stuff, it's shit. It's bad. It's broken. And I don't even know how to download it. Declare WinUI application. Oh. Wait a second. Hold on. What's this? What's this .h file? When you add a NuGet to a package to a C++ WinRT project, you added your products generated /WinRT. You now have a WinRT folder to bring those files and headers into your project. So those references, pch.h. You only need to. Do I need to add more headers? I mean, this is for C++. I'm using C#. Could that be it? Because at least our WAP proj, did they put this out after the WAP song by?
No, don't finish the sentence.
Like, wow, that's a great song. We should name our framework after it.
Damn it! No, it's the Windows application portal.
With that Windows application portal. Grab a bucket and a mop for that Windows application portal. It's in here. It says in package reference include h dot all these things. H dot notify icon. So we'll copy this directly, and then we'll say we're using it in our main window.xaml. CLR namespace, h.notify icon, paste. And it says undefined CLR dash namespace. I'm just going to get rid of that. Oh, what the fuck? It's not mad at me.
Unfortunately, it's past my bedtime. I'm going to have to go.
Understandable. Well, thank you, Walter, for coming on. Still got the 3 errors. I don't know why it's mad at me now. Oh, it's because of taskbar icon. But we got h-notify icon to work. I thought this code is identical to what I had before, but apparently it wasn't.
It's taking you 30 minutes to resolve one single error.
It's taking me 30 minutes to not change my code and resolve one error.
You have now become an adaptive
I've done nothing.
You've been christened. Yes.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
You've arrived.
Mr. Senior Developer. Anything you want to say before you leave?
Cheers.
Cheers, brother. keep the stash looking good. I'll see you.
Yep. Peace out.
All right, so that was Walter. Let's go back into my regular video view thing. So if anyone else wants to, if anyone's out there in the Discord or whatever wants to join and roast as Walter was previously, just let me know. And now that he's gone, there's no reason for me to wear this hot ass blazer. And honestly, I know the new Twitch meta. Let me unbutton a couple. Ladies. Anyway. Got to get someone watching. So we got that to work. Now it says tb.taskbar icon. So I don't know why that's not coming in. I call it TB. Don't do that. You know there's no ladies here. Well, fair enough. TB dot colon TB dot taskbar icon. So it should be in here someplace. Namespace TB is unnecessary. All right, show potential fix. Remove unnecessary namespaces. Okay. Oh no, that just undid what I was doing. How do I? Is there an undo button? Edit, undo. Okay, so TB should exist. I don't know why. Let's go back to that tab I had open earlier. I don't care about any of these tabs anymore. Don't you have to use a UI to build UIs? That thing with the drag. I think they got rid of it. I can't find the UI builder UI. Quick start, install, and use a NuGet. Import NuGet package. Okay, so we're back to this. So h.notify icon. OMG! What's the OMG about? What are you OMGing about, buddy? So this one says using equals using h.notify icon. Could that be what we're missing? Is the using? Okay, so clearly the using is not what we want. That causes problems. Why would Windows remove the drag and drop UI crap? I don't know. That's a .NET classic. You've seen a .NET classic. Unknown type h.notify icon. Duplication assignment to the content property of the window. Unknown type taskbar icon and XML namespace h.notify icon. Okay, well can we go to it? Well, that's not what I want. Using directive is unnecessary. Let's just sing that up. Are you missing a using directive? Okay. TB h.notify icon. Can I go to definition or something? Okay, can't navigate to definition. What's going on, Iota Mail Gaming? Welcome. I've transitioned into being a thirst trap Twitch streamer. I've opened up my shirt to show my chest hair to the ladies. So we'll see how that works out for me. I'm trying to get this h.notify icon thing to work, but it's mad at me. Can I just put something in here like h.notify? No, that's half. I want h.notify icon dot show. Oh, I don't have my Vim key bindings. Can I like, what happens if I do this? It's not a V-neck, it's a half unbuttoned collared shirt. Nice try. Good effort, idiot. Got him. Okay, so this is certainly not working. I don't know what it's mad at. Introduce local extract method. Okay, so that clearly is not going to work. Thumbnail preview tricked me. That's what we're here for, tricking people in the thumbnail preview. Okay, so now this broke. That was a totally separate thing that had nothing to do with anything. Why did this break? That's still here. It's right here. What but what who whose idea was this? All right, so clearly I've broken something. Maybe it's just mad at this. Can I like hash this out? Will this come back? SAML namespace is not working. Okay. TB.taskbar, TB verify. No, this is the TB. There's a namespace here. Can I? So like view code, it can restart the linter, happens in VS. You know, I'm just gonna restart VS Code or VS. Let's save them all, and then just throw open Visual Studio 2022. Let's go. Turn up. All right, what are we getting? What are we getting? All right, preprocessor directive expected on main.xaml.cs. Okay, let's change this back to using. Oops. Okay, so now it's mad at me. Namespace H could not be found. Except we have the namespace H. It's right here. H.notify icon right here. This is what we have. This is the thing. H.notify icon. We're including that package. So when I go into main window, I'm using h.notify icon, except this thing is mad at me. And when I go into main window here, it says it's not being used. So can I say like notify icon dot anything? No, it's mad at me. Can I say h dot? Nope, that's half. H dot notify icon. And I don't know what this is about. Okay, so it's mad at H, but it gladly was able to fill that in. I guess that's some ChatGPT nonsense. I'm so lost on what I'm supposed to be doing here. Like, everything is so broken. Other app resources. Do I need to add it to my app resources? Could that be it? Does it need to go into app XAML? What's app.xaml? What is this thing? For holding resources. Oh, style pins, brushes. I don't need any of that stuff, I don't think. Oh, what is all of this? This is saying you just install it and use it. I don't know how this is supposed to work. So that, okay. app.xaml.cs. Namespace, h.notification, notify icon.apps. I think we already have a namespace. It's Papechanger something. I guess I'm not using a namespace. No, here it is. Namespace Papechanger. Okay. So we have our app. This isn't even an app. This is a main window. Alright, so I don't understand how any of that works. App XAML CS. Oh, nope, not that. No, I want app.xaml. Okay, I don't care. So I guess this only has an app.xaml. It just says x:class h.notifyicon.apps.app. Is that what I want? This is awful and painful. I guess I'll just do this. Go away. Okay, application, x:class, the app. Oh no, that doesn't. Okay. XAML controls is resources dictionary. XAML controls resources. That exists. Resource dictionary. I don't think I need that right now. .NET looks terrifying. Yeah, I'm terrified. Dude, I don't know how to fix any of this. All right, so we have the CS proj. I don't know what any of this is about. There's a lot of stuff in here. Okay, so this is just using this include libs thing, which isn't very helpful for me because I'm trying to do it via NuGet. Tray icon resources. Okay, so I need to, I guess, generate one of these at some point. App.manifest, which I don't know what that is. This is all very, very confusing to me. Yeah, sure, I'll save it. All right, I seriously don't know what to do. I'm in the same place I was yesterday where I need to do more reading. And now or not yesterday, 2 days ago. And now I understand that I truly, deeply need to do more reading. So I think I'm just going to end the stream. So thanks for watching, I guess. You know, I mean, it's been real, but I don't know how to do .NET. So that's that. I'll see you guys later.